Welcome to the pilot episode of Critic Lunch. I'm your host, Mr. F. I'm a film critic, a film festival programmer, and a film teacher. One of my favorite memories of high school and middle school was sitting with my buddies during lunch and talking about all the movies and shows we were watching. The mission of Critic Lunch is to get even more of these fun, weird, amazing conversations going. As a film teacher, I get to hang out on a daily basis with a bunch of awesome people who are having these conversations. In this show, we're going to look back at some of those conversations, and I'm going to use those subjects as a way to review the new movie, Twisters. But before we get to all that, pop out your popcorn, grab a number 2 pencil, kids. It's time for a pop quiz. Your first question is, how many years have passed since the original Twister came out? Is it 14 years, 24 years, 34 years, or 18 years? Question number 2. What popular fast food company is developing a streaming service? Is it McDonald's, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, or Little Caesars? Inside Out 2 just passed a major milestone. What is it? Did it win an Oscar? Is it the Pixar movie with the longest run at number 1 at the box office? Did it make $1 billion worldwide, or is it rated not fresh on Rotten Tomatoes? And the final question is a short answer question. The question is, where do tornadoes like to go for lunch? I'll give you the answer to all these questions throughout the show, but let's get going on some of these Critic Lunch conversations. Last Monday's conversation was, what's better, Star Wars or Marvel? And in a shocking development, folks, we have a tie. Half of our Critic Lunch folks liked Star Wars, half of them prefer Marvel. Which means half of you are wrong. I don't think it's a contest to which one I like better. Star Wars by a mile. It's got great villains. It was completely brand new. And probably the biggest factor is I was 5 when it began, so I just fell in love with it as a little kid. And maybe that's how a lot of younger people feel about the Marvel movies. And that's fair. I will admit that Marvel is a little more impressive in what they've done to build this huge universe. But Star Wars is kind of the OG at doing that. They built the first huge, massive movie universe. And Marvel should be thanking Star Wars for doing it. All right. Tuesday's Critic Lunch conversation was, pick a character from a movie or show you've watched, and if they were forced to sing a karaoke song, what song would they pick? And boy, oh boy, was there a lot of Deadpool suggestions. It makes sense, right? He's always singing in these movies, and he's got a huge list to pick from if he ever is forced to do karaoke. Snake decided to go with Like a Prayer. We had Take on Me. Apollo chose any Mariah Carey song. And now for something completely different than Deadpool, Diamond Queen decided to go for Good Luck Charlie and the character of Teddy. And Teddy would sing She Is So Gone because it seems like totally her style. Now for me, I'm going to choose someone from Twister. I'm going to choose Glenn Powell's character, Tyler. And the song I'm going to pick for him is an oldie but a goodie by a guy named Merle Haggard. It's called I'm Proud to Be an Okie from Muskogee. Now, why would I choose that? Well, Okie refers to someone who lives in Oklahoma, and the movie takes place in Oklahoma. Tyler is constantly driving around Oklahoma in his van looking for tornadoes, trying to boost numbers on his YouTube channel. And I'm sure he would be the kind of guy who would say, if I'm in Oklahoma and I want people to like me and get behind me and watch my videos, I'm going to play to their loves, and I'm going to sing an Oklahoma song. And even though I think he's from either Arkansas or Alabama, I forget which one, but I wouldn't put it past Tyler to kind of, bend the truth a little bit and tell everyone he's a genuine Okie from Muskogee. All right, here's the answer to question number 1. How many years has it been since the original Twister came out? It's been 24 years. Wednesday's topic at lunch was, pick a show or movie you love, and if you could give it one award, and one award only, what would you give it? Ski Rat is giving an award to Joy for Best Acting in Inside Out 2. Ski Rat loves that Joy sticks up for what is right every single time, and you know what? I do too. Congratulations, Joy. Sparky is given an award for coolest cars, and that goes to Ford v Ferrari. You know, the cars are amazing in that movie. I would love to get a discussion going. What movie has the best cars in it? There are so many great choices. We have another award for Best Acting, and it's going to Lucy Hale for Pretty Little Liars. And why? Because she plays the part so well. And one of the more interesting awards I've ever heard of, Best Everything. I guess that's every little thing about it. Warthog is giving that award to Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know about everything, but a lot of the things are really good in that movie. I agree. I loved it. So the award I'm going to give to Twisters is Most Obvious Foreshadowing. Now, this isn't a huge spoiler. It happens very early in the movie, but a bunch of people are about to do something very dangerous, and one of them turns to, hey, guess what? My mom has barbecue waiting for us at home. You know, if you hear that sentence right before people are going into peril, it's not going to end up good. Hey, question number 2. What popular fast food chain is going to open up a streaming service? It's Chick-fil-A. Looks like they'll be able to take care of dinner and a movie for you all in one. Thursday's topic was This Meets That. Have you ever heard someone describe a movie or show as it's like this movie meets this other movie or another thing? It's pretty common for critics to talk like that. Let's see what our critic lunchers came up with on their own. Apollo is saying Deadpool is like John Wick meets Kevin Hart. And I get it. Very actiony, very violent, meets really funny. That's a good one. I like it, Apollo. We got another Deadpool. Deadpool's very popular lately. It's described as Avengers meets capitalism. Yeah, I get the whole superhero link and capitalism. Interesting take. I'd love to hear more about that. And for me, Twisters, I'm going to say Twisters is like your Doppler radar meeting a roller coaster. Doppler radar is usually the thing that catches all the storms coming on your weather channels. And a roller coaster is a roller coaster. All right, question number 3. What has Inside Out 2 done? What big milestone did it reach? It is the first animated movie ever to hit $1 billion at the box office worldwide. Congrats, Inside Out 2. It couldn't have happened to a better movie. Well, maybe Inside Out. Okay, it's finally time for TNT reviews. TNT stands for Take, Notices, and Talk. It's a great way to set up a quick little movie review. Here we go. For Twisters, my TNT review goes something like this. Glenn Powell's performance in the first half of this movie is dazzling, electric perfection. He's cocky. He's a total jerk. He chases tornadoes just for the money and his selfish thrills. He drives recklessly, forcing other chasers off the road. Now, all of these things should be a major turnoff, but the movie's energy skyrockets whenever he shows up. You can't take your eyes off him. In fact, once we see his nicer side, his performance loses a little juice. He's still pretty great, but his performance goes from an E5 to an E2. So that is one of my takes on Twisters, which, by the way, I totally recommend. It's a perfect popcorn summertime movie. But hey, I'm not the only one doing TNT reviews. It's time for some opinions from the minions, some truth from the youth, and some recs for what to watch next. Rambo is talking Jaws. Rambo finds it quite enjoyable, thinks that they don't have as much character development or death scenes, and the mayor's reasoning in this film does not make sense. Quint is not with it the whole time. We don't learn much about him. When the tourists come on the beaches, none of them go into the water, but they still came. So the mayor's reason for not closing down the beach, since no one will want to come, is proven wrong. Most of the film feels a lot shorter than it actually is from how little the characters travel and move. Thanks, Rambo, for the Jaws take. Next up, we've got Jake doing a TNT on the Fast and Furious. Here's Jake. I feel like Fast and Furious is the best movie. It's a good movie. I like the cars, and they're all good friends, and they've got some enemies. Next up is Lejean Ironskin, and he's doing something kind of neat. He's actually reviewing a music video, Bismarck by Sabaton. Here we go. It's a great song, the riffs and everything. It's all great. The sheer power in their music's what led me to say what I did, and he noticed that each riff, each lyric is very intentional. The riffs, lyrics, and CGI in the video, it's all incredible. Sounds like a good one. I'll have to check it out. Next up, we've got a review on the show Glee by none other than Pookie Dookie. Pookie Dookie says, I think this is a great TV show because it's very relatable and fun. It's very detailed, and I noticed that there are very triggering scenes, which kind of makes it relatable. It's an interesting take. Pookie Dookie, good job. Ski Rat is going to review A Medea Homecoming. Here's Ski Rat. I think this movie was different, good, and funny, and had many plot twists. This movie's very out of the box for Tyler Perry. The ending was my favorite part because of the songs and all of them trying to recreate Beyonce. Thanks so much, Ski Rat. And the final review is going to be about The Walking Dead from Snake. Here's Snake's thoughts on The Walking Dead. I like it a lot. The story's good and characters are well written. Where the story's set and conflicts change nearly every season, keeping it new. The people who aren't killed off change physically and mentally. Character change and writing is very important. It keeps the story and characters interesting as well as introducing new ones in new places. The show depicts loss and survival really well. Seeing how people change in a high-risk, stress situation is interesting. Well, you made me want to watch it again. Thanks, Snake. That's just about the end, except for the answer to your short answer question. Where do tornadoes like to get lunch? Wendy's, of course. Sorry, not sorry for that horrible dad joke. I'm a dad. I tell jokes. What do you expect? Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Keep talking about the stuff you watch. Keep watching stuff. And don't forget, make every lunch a critic lunch. See you next time.